explicitive. I just turned that down. Damn. God.
All right. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
All right. Welcome to our Inside Lowell election night coverage here from the Well Point Studios here in beautiful, historic downtown Lowell. Apologies for being late. We had some technical difficulties, unable to bring you tonight's election coverage on InsideLowell.com, but we are able to stream live on our YouTube channel. You guys, are you seeing the live show or whatnot? My guests here, we have to confirm. We're kind of testing this on the fly.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll tell you right now.
We're learning how to fly the plane as we go here. But
yes, just came on. All right.
All right, perfect. All right, here you go, gang. Welcome again to our election night broadcast. Please tell your friends who might be wondering, they can watch us live on our YouTube channel, Inside Lowell YouTube channel. It's where our show is. You've probably seen us as we've been trying to fix our technical issues here. Putting up our handy-dandy election night spreadsheet over here.
There you go.
There you see the three races that we are following in the Lowell City Council preliminary election. District 3, Belvedere. District 7, the Acre. District 8, the Highlands. There are the candidates. There are the precincts. We've got a spreadsheet that's going to update all those numbers for you. And man, do we have quite the cast of experienced election coverage team members here at InsideLowell.com.
Oh,
we've got none other than Asa Stutz making his long-awaited return to the Inside Lowell podcast sphere. Welcome, Asa.
I'm back.
Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here for the pre-game show, as we're calling it.
I love the city elections. I never miss them. Radio here. I'm good.
About
a decade straight going now.
You're going to be going to the whiteboard over there.
No.
Yeah, you're going to go up to the whiteboard and,
there you go.
Who wrote
come
that?
in and report. I used, that's definitely not my writing.
It looks like Blection.
Yeah, that's too good.
No, that's a star. Collection.
It looks like it could be a B in the
Are
front.
you saying that E? I might have to adjust that E next time we get on camera.
Probably.
No, it gives it charm.
All right, it gives it a little charm.
There you go.
That was a ladies'
Little
touch.
ambiance.
Our friend
There you
Lindsay
go.
Former from the Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce helped me out
Too
today.
fancy for
Yeah.
our liking.
Yeah.
Much too fancy for me.
Yeah.
Gerry,
What's going on? How you
former
doing?
Lowell City Councilor,
How's
former
life?
state rep candidate.
Yeah.
Now you're like a veteran of our election
I
night
know.
coverage, my
I'm like an
friend.
alumni. It's
Yeah.
all good.
Life
man.
is good. Last time I saw you, we were chasing some golf balls around
That's right.
Four Oaks Country Club.
Yeah, getting some sun. It was really good. It was a good take.
The great thing is I was able to confirm that you and John Leahy are indeed two different people. I saw you both in the same place at the same time.
Well, no, not necessarily. You don't really know that.
That's true.
Not completely true. Yeah,
He was in the woods and one
good.
side
That's right. And I was on the other side.
You were on the
Yeah.
other side.
Yeah.
But it was
Doppelgangers.
great that they screwed up your name on the golf cart.
That's right.
Would they call you Jim Leahy or
That's
John
right.
Leary or something?
Exactly. John Leary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, glad to have you here.
Thank you for having
Greg
me.
Pappas is in the house as well.
Teddy.
Former City of Lowell elections director, now part of our election coverage team. Which role do you like better? Being in City Hall on election night, dealing with the insanity, or being in the Well Point studio?
Oh, this is more fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right.
Election nights, that's for younger guys like Will.
Yeah,
You know? I think I know what our technical difficulties were, though.
Really?
Yeah, I think ICE was in the city tonight, so. There was somewhere, there was one guy seen, but he might have been a friend of mine, delivers ice to truck to he sells ice at package stores, but
Not only was
I'm sure that,
ICE
yeah.
intimidating
Yeah.
voters, but
Yeah.
they also screwed up our lives. Man,
Unbelievable,
It's
yeah.
Trump's fault.
Yeah.
Everything is Trump's fault.
I just don't see, that's funny.
All right. Well, glad to have the three of you here. You'll be with me till 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, Asa and I are going to step out.
Yep.
Gerry Nutter is going to step into the big
Dr.
seat
Nutter.
Nice.
for the first time. He'll be here
Excellent.
along with Bill Samaras, former Lowell.
Oh,
mayor,
Bill's coming in?
newest
That's
member
right.
of our election night
Oh,
team. We were
good.
supposed to have John Leahy, but
I haven't
he
seen
forgot
Bill.
he had booked the trip with his wife.
That's right.
when
He's on a
he
plane.
committed
He's on a plane right now. Yeah, that's the problem.
That's it.
What about Marty? Where's Marty?
Marty Laurie.
He's
is,
the only missing piece. Well,
Marty
and
celebrating
it's Joe, too.
He's on the
Right.
anniversary.
I think
right.
it's Marty's
Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
40th anniversary or something. or
Happy
other,
anniversary.
47th
44 or something?
Yeah, it's a big number.
Yeah.
So happy anniversary to Marty Laurie. But we got more than enough talent here to run through these races, lead us up to what's happening when the polls close at 8 o'clock. As we said, Gerry and Bill Samaras will pinch hit for us here, and Asa and I will go start getting the numbers.
Oh, okay.
Should be a relatively early night.
Good.
We don't have to worry about all the mail-in ballots and all the early ballots being kept at City Hall and tabulated through a computer there. They've all been sent out to the different precincts where the voting has taken place today. They've been run through the machines, adding slightly to the already paltry turnout totals, except for one district. Guess which one?
Shocking. Yeah.
Shocking. But I anticipate once we have those about 8:15 or so, we'll start to get numbers from our correspondents out in the field. We'll start adding them into your handy dandy spreadsheet over there.
No. Once you get the Daily,
Yeah.
the Riley,
Yeah.
and the Senior Center, I mean, someone will be at those 3 locations.
Yeah. District polling.
That's it. The other ones,
much over.
the Pine doesn't have many votes.
No.
Well,
Lowell High has like no votes, so
Right.
we'll know quickly.
but I'll say this, as you know, small of a role as the Pine School is going to play in Belvedere, because the Riley School has 3 precincts,
Yeah.
number 1, 2, and 4. The Pine School is the 4th precinct in the City Council District
Right.
race. You're looking at 4 candidates, and nobody seems to know. If you ask anyone to bet their life on the result, they'll all say, I don't know. They'll give you a guess,
Right.
Yeah.
but nobody knows what's going to happen in that race. So my hunch is it might be close enough that
You'll need the Pine votes.
as
Yeah,
of 6
Pine will-
o'clock, there were
Yeah,
really
no,
matter.
good point. Good point.
as of 6 o'clock there were 147 votes at the Pine School.
That could be the
Right.
difference. And that will be the.
Let's say we get to
Right.
175, 200. That could
Right.
be
Right.
Yeah.
If you have
Right.
close races, that could be your determining
Absolutely.
factor there as well.
In Ward 8, they're split even,
Yeah.
2 and 2.
Yes, 2 at the Daily, 2 at the Charter, where there aren't too much.
Yeah.
But turnout. That's the thing we discuss every single election night as we lead up to the polls closing, and I call it turnout or lack thereof.
Right.
So let's start with where the turnout is. As you would expect, District 3,
Yeah.
Belvedere.
Oh, yeah.
Folks turning out as of about 5:30, 6 o'clock. I had been told that 1,085 people voted at the Riley School, all 3 precincts combined, and another 147 at the Pine School. So you've got over 1,200 with about 2 hours to go in the voting.
Okay.
They may get to 1,500,
1,500,
right?
Which is weird, yeah, because years ago, you took that number at 5 o'clock and you
Yeah.
doubled it.
Like,
And that's what you had,
Because
doubled
usually
and a
that's
half.
when people
Yeah.
will vote.
Vote to
right?
vote,
After
yeah,
they're
but
coming home from work
times
after
change,
5
yeah,
o'clock.
you know?
But we're applauding that as
Yeah.
hey, that's a good turnout,
Sure,
especially
yeah.
when you compare it to everybody else.
Yeah.
But there are 10,505 registered voters
Right, so it's
in
12%,
Belvedere.
right?
So you got 12 to 15%
Yeah,
have turned out to vote.
Right.
With
with
four,
early voting too. right?
with early
Yeah.
voting,
Yeah.
with
Right.
mail-in voting,
Right.
with
Yeah.
4 pretty good candidates who all have made
oh, yeah,
a
yeah.
good case, a
Folks
strong
have
case.
worked really hard. So all 4 of them have been
Yeah.
knocking doors. All
Right.
4 of them are known people. They're folks who are involved in the community, involved in Belvedere. You know,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how they squeak it out. It's going to be close. And I think the dynamic when you get to the general election is going to be interesting because who knows? It'll be wide open. So the 2 people that actually win that race, who knows what'll win in the next thing? Because
Right.
it's going to be more votes will come in at that one, and you won't have 2 other folks that are taking votes away from you. So it's going to be a real interesting night for that to see how close it is and who can pull out their folks to come out and show up. It's big. It's really going to be difficult.
Yeah,
It's really kind of roll the dice at the end of the day.
Meantime, out in District 7, the Acre.
Yeah.
Asa, you were out there at 5:30. What can you report?
Not a big vote total. It's actually by 6:30, there was 310 votes total. So the whole precinct combined, 310
That's
votes.
where, at the senior center?
That's the senior center and the high school
High school
combined.
combined, wow.
All right, so while we say wow, what are you get 500 votes? We'd always say in the general election, right? In November, is that the Paul Ratayem
Yeah, right.
Froome Kembeng
Yeah, yeah.
race in 2024?
Right,
What were there,
right.
500 voters
Right.
showed out?
Yeah.
So you may get near there in a September 9th
Preliminary, yeah.
About not great, nothing we should be applauding,
Right.
but
But it's better than than the regular.
it's on par.
Yeah,
where,
right.
It's
where
going to
you
be
might
like
expect the Acre to be.
4% turnout, 5 at
You could actually have, Teddy, you could actually have a bigger turn on the preliminary and a smaller one on the final.
So you have
I don't know, Asa, Jimmy's laughing.
It's going to be the same, honestly. It's going to be the exact same.
so
That's what I wanted.
8,417 registered voters in the acre.
There you go.
Let's say we get miraculously to 500.
So let's say, ready? 10% is 840. 5% is 420.
5.9%.
420.
6%.
Shout out to the pothead out there. We're trying to get to you tonight.
Right.
Meanwhile, out in District 8, which is traditionally, Jim, that's your district.
Yep.
It's traditionally the second largest voting
Right.
district in the city of Lowell. Pawtucketville will get close if it has a competitive race, but they've got 9,785 voters. They were at like 535 last I checked. So what are you gathering?
They had 535 at 5:30.
Okay.
So I left there collectively at about 5:30.
So they'll get over 600, but it's like, can they reach
700?
700 in that range? Yeah.
But
what we're looking
that's
I mean, the charter school had 2 different precincts. They had 111 votes total.
at. Oh, well.
So usually 8-3 is the heavy hitter. in that
8-3 is
district.
the big, yeah.
So
8-3 is the one.
8-3 had 263, 8-4. I can look it up. But
Did they have
it wasn't.
school today?
no school
They
today.
did.
Lowell.
Can't.
The
Okay.
Hellenic has
That's usually
school.
what they do. Yeah. Okay.
But so say 9,785 voters in District 8. Well, for our purposes, we'll round it up to 10% to make the math easy.
Yeah.
So if you can get 1,000 voters combined out of that, you get 10%. Again, not inspiring when you have 3 candidates
They're not
who
getting
have been working
anywhere
hard.
near 10%.
They're not. Yeah, right. They're not going to
mean-
get to. They're not going to get to 1,000.
That's Lowell's second biggest voting area.
Right.
And
Yeah,
they're going to
8-3
put up
is
7% if they're lucky.
8-3 is the
Right,
third biggest precinct in the city, right? So you got 1-1 and 1-2, the old 1-1, 1-2.
Right.
That's first and second, and then 8-3 is the third. So that's, yeah, you're gonna have a low turnout. So hopefully, really, again, another crapshoot, right? I think you have an incumbent Johnny Dakota who is probably going to be leading that, but you got 2 folks who worked really hard in terms of the challengers. So it's going to be interesting to see who. And my prediction would be Johnny D in that situation.
Yep.
But who's going to face him? And the general election will be a totally different ballgame.
Right. Exactly.
So this turnout, who does it help? Conventional wisdom is low turnout helps the incumbents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a challenger to do well. Now, this is a unique situation because where one of the challengers will advance to the general election anyway. So, but generally, either issues
Right.
or a strong challenger drives turnout. Based on the fact that there isn't much in the Acre or in the Upper Highlands,
Right.
do we have any issues or strong challengers?
I think the challengers are strong, but I just think there's no real issues at the end of the day, right? So you're looking at, I think the incumbents are going to have a positive day. The good thing is that if you're a challenger, one of you is going to win. So now you get another set of time to really make an issue in
Right.
terms of turning out, and then you're going to have they're going to have the large races coming in for both school committee and city council.
Right.
So you're going to have a different dynamic of people showing up.
Right.
So you really got to work at that point. It's entirely a different race. But right now, I would say incumbents.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just looks that way, and in the final, there might not be any issue either. That's why you borrow a little page out of Drake. What we used to do is there was never, it might not be really any decent issue. So what you do if you're running for selectman, pick a school committee issue and go on that. So people going out to vote for school committee vote for you because
Show
usually
up,
that's the
yeah.
biggest crowd.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
the turnout to me always falls on the challengers because
Right.
if there isn't an issue
Right.
that people are angry about, you've got to find it, or you
Right.
have to then make it so negative against the incumbent.
The schools are
that
always an
people
issue.
Get energized and come out.
You've got to
for you,
point
right?
out issues and flaws, really.
Right.
Right.
Like I didn't want to vote for that stop sign at the corner of blah
Right.
blah blah. You made it, and that's what it really down to. Like a ward or like a district race really comes down to the personal.
Right.
Like what did
It's
you
very
do or not do
personal.
at the end of the day? Did you show up for votes? Did you? I didn't want the stop sign. I didn't want X, Y, and Z.
Right.
My road's not paved. It really gets down to like brass tacks, as it were. And if you're a challenger, unfortunately, you've got to take it to the incumbent and really go, hey, this guy or this woman didn't do their job, and here's some issues
That's
that
true.
they didn't, and point it out. And you got to slam in, like really slam
You
them.
have to run it like a state rep campaign and stuff.
It
like
really
that.
is a state rep.
Because that's what happened when they were all at large. They never were. They couldn't attack each other.
I got a theory. The only way Paul Rathayem could lose is if the turnout was so low.
Lose
Because
to-
Sydney-
in other words, finish
Losing
third.
in the preliminary.
Yes.
Really?
I don't think it's going to happen. But the only way it could possibly happen is if it was so low. Sidney Liang
But Paul's folks
had the
didn't
most.
come out to vote then, because Sidney's he
is
campaigned
the-
hard. And
he had the most
Yeah.
energy of anyone I SAR out there. You can
Yeah.
feel it. You can just driving around, you can feel it.
Oh, Sidney Leanne?
Yeah, and there wasn't a ton to be found, and I didn't go to the Riley, but he had some juice. I wouldn't be shocked if he tops the ticket today.
That's
He
interesting.
is a second Southeast Asian candidate in that neighborhood. He's very popular and well liked.
Yeah, he's
As is
like-
Paul. I don't think the what's his
Jose
name?
Cervantes?
Yes, I don't think
But-
he's going to get on. His only chance is this real narrow scenario where it's so low and so suppressed, and Southeast
split.
Asian votes goes that way, and it's like maybe.
A nothing
That's
vote,
the
yeah.
best I can do to analyze the
That's
acre
the,
race.
that's the
but
one that's the
it's-
interesting one. I think you're right. That's the one that you could have a really funny upset in the
Well, he
preliminary.
worked
Yeah.
hard, though. We
Yeah.
talk about,
Sydney.
people working hard. Oh, well, Sydney worked hard.
Yeah.
Sydney had some powerful, some well-known people
Yeah.
in the acre behind
Yeah.
him. Dave Willett, Yoonji
Yeah.
Choi, his campaign
Yeah,
manager,
that's right.
the
Right.
former head of the CBA. Jose Cervantes worked hard. He was
Right.
out. He was knocking doors. He told me he was out knocking doors today instead
Right.
of staying in a polling location.
Which is probably
holding
smart.
sign,
Like,
which is
Right.
that's
You
what I was
follow
going to ask
that.
you. Is
It's
that
probably
smart?
yeah, it's very smart.
I
You're
think
basically
it-
saying, hey,
yeah.
you know you didn't vote. Can you come on over? Vote for
I think Ace is onto
huge.
something. That's
Actually,
the
it's a
one
good
you could
point.
have a funny thing happen.
And the
That-
second
Yeah.
big
You
observation
could.
I'll say that I saw
That's
was
something.
being
Yeah.
over at the Daily, there were not a lot of Southeast Asian voters. And typically, it's about 50-50 when you head up there now for a presidential or a state rep race.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize this is the first time in at least 20 years there isn't a Southeast Asian candidate on the ballot. State reps, city council,
school committee.
school committee.
That's-
This is the
you're
first
right,
time,
because-
and at least
It's
I
that
don't know how far it goes, but
like-
I mean, you get the Vesna.
Right.
Before that, you've had candidates
Gittier and Dakota were challenged by
was
Van Tooch.
always been a
No,
Southeast.
No, what's his name?
I'm trying to
yeah.
find his name.
I know.
Nice kid.
Nice
Jim, vote
kid.
for him.
Chuck,
No.
I can see,
Slogan, it's still in my head.
I can see him, and I can't.
But either way, I think you can go back
Good-looking
maybe 20,
type. Yeah.
good
20 years ago.
Kid,
Yeah.
completely unsuccessful.
The demographics of the neighborhood, the lower Highlands moved up. The way that's the Lowell way. You move on up.
you move to
They
the
move up to the upper Highlands. You see the demographics change. I don't know if it's 50-50, but you take that candidate or any of the candidates off the ballot, the vote's suppressed, and it's going to be a different Johnny
Right.
Dakota is going to do very well because of this.
Yeah.
He could do slightly. It's not that Southeast Asians don't like him, but it's going to be a different voting block for the general, especially in that neighborhood.
It'll be a different race in the general election
Yeah.
for everybody.
Right.
But definitely in District 8.
It's a lot of toss-up voters. I mean,
Yeah.
whoever Vesna backs, Johnny's the
I don't know,
heavy
you know-
favorite to win.
Yeah.
But if Vesna comes out strong for Maldonado, or you never know.
You know what? I don't know that to be. Maybe like Eric's really popular up there too.
Eric too. Yeah.
I
And they're
think-
both monsters in the name.
But I think the
Danny
way-
Rourke's very popular up there.
Very popular. You know, like grew up there, right? So
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, I think the District 8 folks usually normally they can split the ticket. A lot
Yeah.
of them would vote for a Rita and they would vote for somebody else that's totally different.
Which is so
For
noticeable.
years.
It was noticeable.
It is.
You've
They
been
do.
there. You've
Oh, I
been there on
lived it.
election day.
Yeah.
It's 50-50 now.
It is. But I think it's still the mentality where I can easily vote for this candidate. No one's going to like carry somebody else through it. Right, you know what I mean? I don't think anybody has any of that strong coattails at this point. Maybe Eric, because Eric is pretty popular and has been involved in both sides of the neighborhoods, the lower Highlands.
Yeah,
and the
he
upper
couldn't
Highlands.
fully carry someone, but he definitely put someone over the top.
Can't hurt him. Yeah.
So if you get these results, what's a good number for Dakota tonight? Is it 60% of the vote? Obviously, he wants to get to 51, but that's bare minimum for an incumbent tonight.
But you get a three-way split and you get 60%. That's pretty good.
I
low turnout.
think if you're him, though, and it's
you have
50.
three candidates, so even
Yeah.
like a 55 is like that
Yeah.
could be a major win.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think if he comes in at 50% or even 51, that threshold, that's not a great night for him. It's showing you that
I
half the
wouldn't
people
even-
are voting for somebody else.
I disagree
Yeah.
with that because I
But
think
this-
I think it's going to be so different in the
Right.
election. You're going to have like,
Right.
Vesna, who lives in that neighborhood, is going to be on that ballot. You're going to have both at large races. Freddie Bahu, who lives in that neighborhood, is going
Yep.
to be on the ballot. So that's going to draw out a whole army of folks at that point. So this right now is like, I don't call it a crapshoot. I think Johnny has it, but if he gets 52, I wouldn't be stressed if he comes in at 48, 47 and pulls it out by the skin of his teeth. Yeah, that's a different.
Anything
think
less
he'd
than
be disappointed.
anything less than
Yeah.
50, he's going to be.
Anything
yeah.
close to 50, I think he'd be disappointed. Remember, he beat Ty Chum. It was like 800 to 200.
But it was
if
a
I
head.
remember
But it was a
correctly.
head-to-head.
Yeah,
You head-to-head is different.
You had,
Right, but he got 800 votes.
Right.
yeah.
Now you're going to scale it down a little because you're not going to get 1,000.
It changes the whole dynamic. It
Right.
changes. everything.
But if if he's not at 60 plus, I kind of agree with
But
you.
if there's no
He's not
hot
at
issues
60
or
plus,
anything,
that
yeah.
shows vulnerability. Greg, you tell me all the time, if an incumbent is near that 50% line or under it, they're in trouble in
Yeah.
U.S. Senate races,
Congress.
in congressional
Yeah.
races, etc.
Yeah, but that's for those races. They're definitely you see a congressman under 50.1, 50 at 49 point something, they always lose the front.
But that's because they really don't like them
right.
at that point.
But
right?
this type of thing in with a race, and if there's no big issue in the end, and John was 52, whatever, what happens usually is like Jimmy's when the one that's knocked off, he gets 2-1 on all those votes that get knocked off.
Unless you hit it with specific issues.
Unless you hit it with specific
You
issues.
got to hit an issue. You got to
And-
say whatever.
yeah, right.
You didn't do this. Here's what I'm going to do. And I, it actually wouldn't even say what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'd say you voted for X, Y, and
Right,
Z, and you
right.
caused harm to our neighborhood.
Well, there's
gotta
enough differences between John Dakota, Francisco Maldonado, and Marcos Candido that
You saw the
that
debates,
Could be
yeah.
They clearly stood
Right.
stood on separate ground on
Right.
certain issues. So I think tonight will be telling.
Yeah.
Good buddy of ours who we all know, the famous Guillermo Pena, GMP.
There you go.
He sent me a comment earlier today. He said, "Will this be like the scene from Godfather 1? 3 incumbents could be out of a job tonight."
Jeez.
he's
Pure
probably
evil.
He's probably rooting for it, but
He's sitting in his lair right now, scheming.
just listening to you guys, it sounds like you guys are in agreement that John Dakota will likely be on the ballot in November. Very
Yeah,
likely in
yeah.
November.
Yeah,
Paul Ratayem, very likely on the ballot in November as well.
Yeah.
All right. That leaves one incumbent, Cory Belanger.
That's
Will Cory Belanger be on the ballot in November?
I think, well, that's going to be a tough one because this is a real, at the end of the day, this is the hardest race to predict.
Right.
Because all 4 of them are strong. All 4 of them have really, really worked.
Right.
All 4 are connected.
Right.
You look at like the money raised by some of them, it was just kind of blew my mind in terms of the names backing certain folks. And I know Cory has been really pushing hard some of the work that he's worked through the council to bring to the district. But then you got Danny Finn, who's in the Little League, running the Little League.
Right.
He's run before.
Right.
His name's known. He's been
Well
in the
known. His
neighborhood.
dad was very well known.
Big family.
Yeah.
And then you really, and you have Gendron, right? You have the Gendron
Yeah.
family, and she's on the health commission, right? So she has experience.
Mm-hmm.
She's worked really hard at the end of the day. So it's going to be an interesting race. Who can get their votes out? You know what? When you were saying earlier, that gentleman in the acre that was going door to door, that might have been a good ploy from what the candidates in Belvedere. Go to your friends, call them, get them up there, just like you're running a state rep or state
Right.
senate race.
That's it, yeah.
You haven't voted yet. Let's go up, Jimmy. Get out there and
Right.
vote. That might have been a good tactic. And if someone actually did that, they may be able to pull a
Mm-hmm.
few votes out on it.
So those campaign tactics, they're smart, but those are things you see in Senate races and
Right.
in congressional races. When
Right.
you have a huge campaign staff, you have tons of volunteers, and you set up phone banks.
Right.
Have we gotten to the point where Lowell City Council races will either set up phone/texting banks or have people going door to door saying, "Hey, we noticed you haven't voted"?
If you don't have the cell phone numbers, it's harder today.
Yeah, it's hard to do that. But what? One of the things like Brian Martin would say to folks, like to Jackie Doherty when she first ran, stop holding a sign waving at people. Get out there,
Right.
get out beyond everybody and say, "Hi, I'm Jackie
Right.
Doherty. I want one of your 6 votes."
Right.
And she worked hard in
Exactly.
the election.
Right.
She topped the ticket.
Right.
And I think part of that, and ran a good campaign with somebody with some good issues, but at that point, she really worked it. And she really was engaging and getting extra votes. And at that point, you're looking at the difference between probably 100 votes between the top ticket to the second place. So that actually works. Now, in this place, this type of election, what was said, if he really did that and he had any type of effectiveness to it, he might pull off an upset and get into the general election.
I asked him, I said,
Right.
were you able to drag any of those folks to the polls with
Right.
you when you told
Right.
them? He goes, they didn't come with me, but they told me they would
Well,
vote.
yeah, well, there you go.
So-
But that, yeah, the different dynamic.
So you
It is a
mentioned
different
an
dynamic.
interesting strategy, advice that Brian Martin gave
Yeah.
to Jackie Doherty. Somebody said to me today, they went up to the Riley School and they saw Cory Belanger sitting on a complete opposite side from where everybody else was with their signs. And they thought to me, that's weird. He's kind of standing out there by himself. He's not in with a group of people. You think that he's following that advice? Like instead
I
of
don't-
getting lost in the crowd, it's better to
If
be
you're waving
somewhere-
here like this to people coming in, no. But if you're like, have your friends hold your name, have hold your signs, and go out and engage, like, hey man, I really need your vote today. You're like, okay, and you're in there going, I know all 4 of them.
Right. Can you get to
Can't
them?
hurt you.
Can you get to the people within 150 feet?
No, but you got to
That's
go
the
out
problem.
further.
And I'm
Yeah,
told
yeah,
Councilor Paul Ratayem was told today at the senior center that he was too close.
Right.
And he said to me, well, I was standing where I always were
Right.
for 6 years. It's never
Yeah.
been an issue.
Technically at the senior
Now
center-
I was told to...
Where was he? Because
Except-
I saw him. He was out on the street,
Be honest with you,
What
technically,
time
and he's
did you
always
see
been
him?
on the street.
Teddy, technically at the senior center, it's almost across the street of Market Basket. It's 150 feet away.
Right, but they, I think
Yeah.
they let you
North
stay
Common.
Right, at the corner,
sidewalk in
right, but
front
that's
where
the 150.
It's always
Yeah,
parked
150 feet is
At
a
the
long way
crosswalk,
away.
Yeah.
the Market Basket crosswalk right
Yeah.
there. Paul's there every year. I've seen
Yeah.
him there.
Right.
Cindy Liang was standing there today. So he couldn't have got kicked out for that purpose
Right.
because Cindy just took his spot.
Right.
Interesting.
It is funny, yeah.
Positioning, yeah.
But the dynamics have so changed, like Jimmy says, it's so completely different. I mean, years ago, if we had an early voting, we had 10 days for early voting. The guys that I work for state rep, we would have 3,000 people voting early. We would have all our people vote early and be standing there on election day. Now, who else can we get?
Banking your vote.
Absolutely. But it's so different today because you don't have telephone book numbers. You have cell phone numbers. You can't get everybody. You can't talk to everyone. You can't knock on doors since 9/11. You got to really be careful. People are very uncomfortable answering the door still since 9/11. You know, it's not the same thing. You know, the dynamics, like Jimmy's saying,
totally
is
changed. You can't use
totally changed. Totally changed. That's why it's
And
hard
you
to
start
guess.
ignoring it.
Yeah.
You do get a phone. Like I get
Yeah.
stuff all the time, and I'm like, I don't even know what it says. I go bang, delete, delete, delete.
Right.
You just get inundated by it.
Yeah.
So that was a trend I heard from multiple candidates
Yeah.
this year, that people were not answering their door when they were going to door knock.
Right.
In many cases, they knew someone was home. They could
Yeah.
hear them. They could see them.
Right.
The lights were on in the living room, and they saw bodies. And
Right.
when they got to the door, suddenly it got real quiet. And one candidate told me you could even hear the feet scurrying outside.
Right.
Like they were saying, like, be quiet. Don't let them know we're home.
Yeah.
I've
It's
done
a-
that. Everyone's done that.
It's a different.
I would never
yeah.
do that.
I would
You
do
a
it.
candidate?
Right.
Oh, I know if I don't know. If I don't know it's a candidate, it's just a person.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
am
it's just-
scurrying away.
there's-
Or I'll yell.
Yeah.
I'll vote for you. Just go away.
There's all kinds
Got
of,
it.
you know.
Yeah.
And it's so different from years ago. Just a quick story. When Stevie was running for senator, Mike Damaris, God rest his soul, and I were knocking doors in Tingsboro. And we're walking down this, which most roads in Tingsboro have trees on as well. We're walking down this road, there's a couple houses. We really, all of a sudden hear this roof, roof.
Oh,
So
yeah,
we stop, right? And then Mike's looking, what's the dog? Roof, roof again. We finally get up a little further. There's a guy sitting in the porch laughing his ass off. He said, I wanted to see how long it would take you to get down the street. But that's what people used to do. We couldn't even see him because there was a tree in front of the house. He's barking like a beagle, you know? And he says, what are you doing? We're knocking doors to Senator Panchatakis.
Perfect dog. Sound like a dog.
He was good.
He was a good dog.
Mikey Fro. We just,
But did you get a snack?
yeah.
It's,
But that's what I mean by things changing so much. Not today. They just stay in the house, you know?
7:46 p.m. here. You're watching the Inside Lowell live election night coverage on our YouTube channel. Unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, we couldn't get the stream going on InsideLowell.com. I'll try to figure it out for election night and for my Friday live show, by the way. We're joined by Greg Pappas, Jim Leary, Asa Stutz, Gerry Nutter, and Bill Samaras will join us in the 8 o'clock hour as well. Want to just thank our sponsors for helping to make tonight's broadcast and all of our Inside Lowell podcasts possible. Of course, WellPoint. We're here in the WellPoint studios at WellPoint. Your whole health is their whole point. Washington Savings Bank, banking that feels like home. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank. TMI Properties, TMI Cares, developing and managing their own properties. For over 30 years, experience the quality, care, and value of making TMI the choice for your home. Thank you as well to Mahoney Oil, providing warmth and protection to generations of families since 1925. The Greater Lowell Community Foundation, improving the quality of life through strategic, impactful philanthropy. Francis E. Preventure Insurance, the agency Greater Lowell has counted on to protect its most valuable assets since 1982. And by Real Estate Ray Booten, licensed realtor in Massachusetts and New Hampshire, certified appraiser in both states as well. Find him online, realestaterayBooten.com. Welcoming back our election night panelists. By the way, if any of you have to take a bathroom break, you're more than welcome to. 1 hour without commercial.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but we're excited because Gerry Nutter will sit in for me, Bill Samaras will sit in for Asa, and then Asa and I will head out and start to get some of the results. Greg, if you want to kind of talk folks through the through the process of how it works at each of the polling locations,
Okay.
each of the precincts, and why we're able to get the results
Right.
before they even get sent to City Hall at
right.
the end of the night. Take us through
Yeah,
that
I mean,
procedure,
it's really very simple. I mean, and especially with a low turnout, unless they have, they're not going to have the ballots that were brought in, were already put in during the day. It's not like they're doing them after or doing, so all they're going to do is at 8 o'clock, voting's over, go over the machine, the warden presses a button, the tape comes out. Then they make copies of it and then they hang them on the window. They should be at 8:02. They should be on the window.
It does take a couple of minutes
You gotta walk to the door, yeah.
for the
Yeah,
warden
that's what I'm saying.
to kind
Yeah.
of get everything.
Yeah.
And they also, I was there once for
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah.
Because I was a spotter for. I think we were doing the radio
Right.
thing, and I went to a location, and actually, so they printed out. That takes a few minutes, also for the warden to
Should
make
only
sure
take
everything's in order.
25 seconds.
But then they read it to the crowd
Right.
before they post it on the door, right? So you have to read all
No,
the
no, they don't
votes.
technically have to do that. That
No?
might just, no.
No.
So
They
I just happened to get the warden that.
yeah, you just
Doing
doing a
it for
little
you,
extra.
yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
Crowd.
Good customer
Yeah,
service.
but
They used to
basically,
kick everyone out.
they,
I know. Yeah.
It's just the poll workers and the
Right.
cops and the DPW guys.
And like-
I was
Yeah.
a media person there, so
Oh, VIP.
you may not know, but I am a professional.
We just sit at the window.
and that
Puppy
tape
dog
doesn't mean anything to City Hall. It just matches. What you do is match it up later. But they, until the machines come back with the police officers and the machine with where they'll take the chip out and then they'll give it to the young lady that's LHS, works for us in the back room, and she'll add those. There'll be, 12 chips. She'll check the total. They'll check them against the tapes and that's it. But that takes probably about 25, 30 minutes.
Do you ever get a different number? Do they run them through another machine at City Hall when they come back?
The
so
chip-
you
the
might
chip-
get a different number.
No,
than you did,
no.
Than you got at the
If there's a
polling
difference,
location?
there should be exactly the same on that. The chip should match
Okay.
the print because the printout comes from the chip. Yeah. Yeah. The only thing that would change later is, like you said, the overseas. Well, there's no overseas ballots, right? But if some
United
came in the
ballots.
mail today, like Jimmy was saying, they just pulled some out of the thing tonight at 8 o'clock.
Sure.
Those will get counted in later, but
So
it's only
they'll
gonna,
run those in.
yeah, they'll do that the next day.
And thankfully, there aren't that many. I do remember in 2023, when you were still the elections director, there were a sizable number of early and mail-in ballots,
Well, why?
and you
Yeah.
ran them through a computer there.
Yes, yeah.
So we couldn't get complete results until that
Was shown,
computer
yeah.
was shown and then combined with each of the
Right,
computers
but
of
that
the
helped
polling
the
precincts.
wardens because they wouldn't have it done at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And you were sitting on the stairs that night. That's when you remember? He sat there the whole night. I remember Jimmy was waiting on the. Yes.
On the 23rd.
Yeah. It was just interesting. I mean, the visions I have. It's fun, but you got to do it right, and that does hold it up a little bit because ours gets added in. But if you don't do that, they could be at the polls another 45, 50 minutes trying to finish the rest of those. And I don't want them feeding ballots during the day when there's a line. Take care of the people in the line first.
Yeah.
You know.
Thankfully, that wasn't much of a problem today, except being a little bit.
No, that's why Will did what he did. Yeah.
So when the story is written, I think the turnout, at least in 2 of the 3 districts being so low, will be something folks will focus on, redouble their efforts for November and see if we can energize the electorate. And there'll be a lot of talk and a lot of hand-wringing and a lot of activism out there on the streets. And I think November 4th, we'll be having the exact same conversation we're having tonight about low turnout everywhere except in Belvedere. Let me bring it up, because it was the topic of my daily pulse today.
Yeah.
Did the fact that ICE has apparently been all over Massachusetts
Right.
in the last couple of days, Homeland Security and or ICE, and the fact that the Lowell Sun actually ran a story trumpeting the fact that they were there and terrorizing, scaring people into not voting, did that diminish the turnout? Did that story, did that talk in and of itself suppress turnout? Greg, I'll let you go first because you told me it probably did.
Well, Homeland Security, you get it, if it's the Homeland Security guys like the ones I saw down in Centerville, they were working with MEMA for the last 3 or 4 days, taking a survey of the tree damage. They were everywhere, all over the state. Those guys with the Homeland Security things on, even though they're over ICE, they weren't here for. They were here looking at trees and stuff went down, wind damage and stuff like that. As far as ICE itself goes, I mean, Yeah, I just, well, I mean, how should I say it? I don't really see how. I mean, did I said to you it did or would?
Well, you had told me that story itself.
If there's ever, that story itself could have been the problem, even if it wasn't true, because it wasn't true. There just wasn't anybody around Lowell, and if there was one incident, like I said, it's not going to do it. And the other thing is, be honest with you, the Lowell Sun's not what it was when I was a kid. There were 44,000 subscriptions. What do they have now? 2,000, 1,500.
So,
I mean, they don't reach anybody. I'm just saying. So
there was one part of the story.
Yeah, right. Well, he did because he told me about it. I didn't know about it. And the thing I will say about the one last thing is that these people that take their put their right hands up and swear they're American citizens now. They're not afraid to go vote. They're Americans. They have no fear to go vote.
So there was one part of the story that did catch my fancy, and that's. We were told by somebody who works for a nonprofit,
right.
Peacemakers or something, that all the hard work that is being done by Lowell Alliance and other organizations to register people to vote and get them to vote goes out the window with that. My question is, how?
First of all, they don't register people to vote. The Registered Motor Vehicles does. I used to take their registrations in. They don't bring in 100 a year.
So if you're an illegal immigrant,
you're not going to vote anyways.
You're not supposed to go to vote, okay?
Yeah.
But there's that. Yeah.
If you are an immigrant, but not if you're a citizen, you're allowed to vote.
Right.
An immigrant who is not a citizen is not allowed to vote in Lowell.
That is
now
correct.
I know there are some states. I think California allows some cities in California allow illegal immigrants, undocumented immigrants, whatever you want to call them.
Supposedly, but I don't know if that's
in municipal elections. They're not supposed to vote in federal and
right.
elections.
But the thing is, it's coming down, and people are starting to realize your power to right to vote comes from the federal Constitution. So all elections are federal, even city ones and town ones.
So
I don't know I don't think that really all went through. I think it was an idea, none of it really formulated.
So if illegals aren't supposed to vote, and immigrants who are not citizens aren't supposed to vote, then who the hell is the Lowell Alliance and all of these voter activists? Who are they reaching out to, and why aren't they with all the effort? Because Lord knows, Greg, they're up in your derriere when you were election commissioner about making it. They wanted you to provide 24-hour limo service to go pick people up to vote.
But I will say,
how much money are these organizations getting to get out the vote?
Well, you just said, I can tell you how many times they came in with, and they're really nice people and they mean well a lot of the kids, but how many times they came in with people's things to register to vote, and 9 out of 10 of them were already registered to vote. I said, these people registered at the Registry of Motor Vehicles. You can't go out of the Registry of Motor Vehicles. They register you to vote. And 9 out of 10 times, I said, you want these back because they're already registered. So they registered like 1 out of for every 100.
I don't know of any.
It's not as big anymore.
No, I don't know of any evidence that happened.
Yeah,
there might be, but I just don't know of it. I think the key really is the apathy for the preliminary elections have been there for forever, even when we had people come out to vote.
Right.
General elections always do better, and it's interesting because we always say local government is important, et cetera, et cetera. And sometimes I think we talk to each other that we're the more important folks. People look at people. No, and I don't. And I'm not trying to. It is or isn't. I'm not even arguing that point. I think at the end of the day, most people just don't think that's true. So like whatever we're doing, right, in the local elections across the board, really isn't working. So we got to do something different, or this is what it's going to be, and this is the government you have.
Right.
I think going back at it, doing things different, but whatever we're doing just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't work. So
right, agree, Jimmy.
9.5%.
Yep.
What do you got?
For what?
I'm putting the line out for Lowell's voter turnout today.
All right, so there
was about 7%. We were at 7%. At 5:30 when we did kind of that tally citywide. It wasn't perfect, but close enough. 7% at 5:30. Can the city get to 9.5? If they got to 10, that would be amazing.
So when we say the city, we also have to be clear. So there are technically 71,700 something registered voters in the city, which, to your point, everybody's automatically registered at the registry.
Right. There were 88 when I was there.
More than half of them don't give a shit about voting, but they're forced to register.
You can,
There were 88,000 when I was there, and I had to purge like 20,000, 30,000.
But in the rest of the city isn't voting today. Pawtuckettville, Centerville, aren't voting. Downtown isn't necessarily voting.
Yeah. Right.
There's no at-large race. There are 3 districts voting today. 3 Belvedere, 7 the Acre, 8 the Highlands.
Right.
There are 28,000. Is it 847?
709, pretty close. Within the margin of about-
28,709 registered voters
Right.
eligible to vote today.
Right.
Yep.
You're saying we'll be lucky to get
We were at 7%.
4,000?
Right.
At 5:30, 9.5 is the over/under.
All right,
Yeah,
so you
right.
think a late push in the Highlands?
I mean, you always do get the
A little
6 to
bit.
8 o'clock.
Yeah. And the
you
thing
get
too, we go to the
2%.
end. Right. You go to
And you
the
get
end.
the extra half hour there. It's 5:30.
If you go into the final election
being
and you don't have a
optimistic.
big turnout in the final election, what did they used to say? People would say, you know, if the incumbents all want, maybe people like the direction the city's going. Maybe people like what the manager's doing. Maybe people like what's happening.
I should
you
think
know,
that I'm betting
and-
on the under.
You know,
All right, I'll take the over.
Just trying to rope someone in here.
Yeah, I'll take the over.
That is
9.5.
the other part of it. Like,
8.5 is probably a better number.
if the
Probably.
challengers aren't engaging a lot of turnout, maybe people are happy, or at
That-
least
yeah,
the people who regularly vote are like,
Right.
Yeah.
we like the direction the city's going in. We like what our
Right.
incumbent is
Right.
doing.
They don't hate
Come
it.
on in,
I'll say.
gentlemen.
I think it really comes down to I like. It's more like I don't hate it.
Right.
I think general elections draw people more based on the issues.
Right.
It's hard in preliminaries. People just don't show up. Today was a beautiful day. You think
Right.
people would come out? They're like,
Right.
probably not. Unless you're walking to the Riley, school
Right,
when you
exactly.
leave your house or something.
Right.
But it's just a challenge. We
and,
just
and,
can't
the,
get
and there's
people to
waves.
vote.
There's waves in elections. Like I would look at, like when I worked in the state assembly for a rep, or when I worked for Crane in the Treasury, or Billy and the Secretary, or Atkins. We always knew, specifically in the legislature, we knew the reps and the senators knew we're going to be fine. They're pissed off at Washington this year, and then 3 years later, we're not going to be fine.
They're mad at us.
They're mad at us, but they're not mad at the senators and the congressmen. It would be like a wave every time. One section be up and up section be down. And that happens even in cities, too. Sometimes there's a school committee that's in trouble. Sometimes it's the councils. Sometimes none.
Real quick, Teddy, before we go, we're heading out to go.
It's 8 o'clock. The polls have closed.
There is a live chat on the YouTube, so people can chime in, and people have chimed in.
Oh,
There's some
what do we
messages
get for
on here,
feedback?
but I'm going to save them for these guys because they might have a moment where there's 10 minutes to kill, and these are a bit longer questions. What are the topics in each district? So we'll save that for the next 15 minutes or so. But everyone, feel free to chime in. Most recent one, Mike Dillon, he's betting on the under.
There you go.
There you go, Mikey.
Out of here.
All right, here.
He's a smart kid.
Professionals are here.
Gerry Nutter, Bill Samaras, Asa and I are going to get up. We're going to do this on the fly, gentlemen.
All right,
Gerry,
guys.
remember,
On the fly.
number 3. We didn't even have time for the tutorial.
There you go.
So what number should I be touching?
Number 3 and number 6. And then I'll help you out with the others.
Number 3 and number 6 over there?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, you keep it on that. Number 6. Here, I'll even show you. Sorry to
me.
butt in,
That's
but
okay.
number 6 is your election spreadsheet. So when we
Okay.
update it, we'll tell you to go to 6. And number 5 is when Asa stands at the
The board.
election board. So 3 and 6
Number
and
3,
5.
all right.
There you go.
All right,
There we go.
take it away, guys.
It's, all right, Teddy.
There.
Mayor, how are you?
Not too bad.
Good to see you.
You know, this is like taking over for Panos on CAP. No
Hey.
training,
Yeah.
no training. It's just sit in the big
Yeah.
chair here now. Yeah. Keep it-
all.
Why is it that I always have to replace you somewhere?
There you go.
Are you on air?
Hey.
Live?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, as live as we are,
Yeah.
we're on YouTube only
Right.
tonight, but that's okay.
So I was talking to your cousin that I used to work with, this Capitol
My
Police
cousin Bill?
officer, was a state
Yep.
police officer, and he told me there's a warrant for your arrest out in Easton.
At least
because you haven't gone to visit him.
At least one.
You haven't been down there for a while to see him or something.
And by the way, I heard you guys, Jimmy, you said walking to the polls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just spent a half hour before I came over here listening to a conversation at the city council meeting tonight. How there's no sidewalks going to the daily school, so people can't walk to school, and they can't put in crosswalks because there's no sidewalks.
Wow.
Well, we used to walk down the street in the middle of it, so it was okay. It's all good.
Yeah.
Well, good evening and welcome
evening.
to
Good to see you.
Inside Lowell. We are going to be live tonight with the election results. Gerry Nutter here, taking over the big chair from my pal Ted Panos. Bill Samaras is here, former city councilor, former mayor, former head of school, currently member of the Lowell Housing Authority, and a doting grandpa.
Absolutely.
Oh.
That's the best.
That's
part.
That's the best part right there, Bill.
That's the
Yeah.
best part.
There you go.
From one doting grandpa to another.
There you go. So,
The man in the middle, for those who don't remember,
yeah.
that's not John Leahy.
No.
No, could be.
John Leary, yeah. John Leary.
Yeah, John Leary, Jim Leahy, and
Yeah.
kind of, you
Hey,
guys
you.
kind of off together
Wow.
for a while. Jimmy Leary, how are you?
Good. How you doing, Jerry?
I'm doing good.
Good.
We haven't sat down and done a show together.
Long time.
Yeah, a long time. You walked into the studio one day, said hi to Jackie, said, "Oh God, they have you here," and he left.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Greg Pappas.
That's not true.
No, I think you stayed around and talked with us for a few minutes.
That was a while ago.
That's a couple of years.
Wow.
Yeah, but
You were doing a debate, weren't you? I think you were actually having.
no, we were just talking that day.
I thought it was a debate you had with the school committee candidates.
That could have been. Yeah, it's been
Good. It's all good.
Yeah.
He's a hard guy to get.
It's all
Yeah,
good.
I got it. Yeah.
We talked about getting together, and he said, "I'll call you. Don't
Yeah,
worry
right,
about
yeah,
it."
it's all-
There you go. That always works.
All right, so what we were, polls have now closed.
Yeah.
Not a great turnout from what I hear.
Like I said, maybe people are happy with the, who knows?
If you're an incumbent, it used to be that low turnout favored the incumbent.
Right.
We get some strong challengers in especially in 7 and 3. So, Corey Belanger has 3 really good,
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough
solid
race.
challengers. That is going to be a tough race. And,
Yeah.
It's actually unusual
Yeah.
to have that many known names
Yeah.
Right.
Hard too.
in a race.
Right.
And that was the other thing I was going to point out. They have all worked very hard.
Right.
And from all the different people who live in that neighborhood, you'll hear things like, boy, Danny Finn has come on strong. He's much better candidate, much better speaker than he was in 2017. They talk about, geez, Corey is really more confident
Right.
in the debates. He was really good, touting his experience. Erin's got a whole group out there all the time. Last night, she did a drop of like 700 door
Wow.
knockers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good for her.
yeah. She had a big
That's what,
crew out
yeah.
there.
It's good experience too.
Right.
Right. And then you get Belinda Duran.
That was actually well planned.
Right.
Yeah. And you have Belinda Duran,
Yeah.
who is maybe not as well known by the majority of Lowell, but very well known in the Belvedere neighborhood.
Yeah, I've
Been
heard her name
involved-
everywhere. Yeah.
Been involved in so many different,
Right.
projects throughout the city, so many different boards and nonprofits. All
And
over
she
the
worked
area.
really hard. She was
Right.
out there early, knocking
Yeah.
on doors. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Corey's situation, because it involved me, brings us to a situation that somewhere along the line they got to find a way to fix the preliminary special election thing, and something happens.
Yeah.
Because like I said to the councilors that night, I statutorily now do not have the time to do. I can't fit it in to do the election. And Galvin backed me up. So Corey ended up getting appointed instead. I had no choice. Well, guess what happened? As you know, 10 days later, the mayor of Methuen passed away.
Yeah.
And they were going to have a preliminary. Galvin said, no, you're not. You got a state election. You can't fit it in. So it's really almost impossible to do preliminaries on state election years for special
They
elections.
did it after the state election.
They did it, yeah.
They did it in December.
Right,
Yeah.
and I said I could have done that too.
Right. Yeah.
But the point was, you can't do it in the middle where the regulations call for you to do it in Lowell. So they got to figure a way. I mean, all the city, to either do it after or not do it at all, and just fill out the term. I don't know, or appoint the person like they did. But your statutes don't allow you to go one day this way and one day that way. You can't do anything.
And when we
Yeah.
made this change, we really, every one of us had an idea where we wanted to go, but the thing is, we never really resolved it.
Right, and you never.
And
right.
that's what happens.
But you wouldn't know, Bill, that the state was going to do that either.
well,
And the state
absolutely.
election takes precedent, yeah.
And people would say, "Are you going to put your name in?"
Right.
At the time, and it's
Right.
You know what?
Right. Well, Methuen found out, too.
It's time to.
They went to go
Step
do their
back,
preliminary within their time frame because the mayor died, and the secretary and Will's ex-boss, Michelle, said, no, you're not. You can't do it. You can't overlap it with the state.
Yeah.
So they had to do it after, which I said I could do, but they didn't want to do it. The council didn't want to do it at the time. So we'll figure that out hopefully in the future. Hopefully we won't have any more.
Jimmy pointed out earlier, beautiful day weather-wise.
Oh, yeah.
No schools, and yet I think Belvedere is going to have the biggest turnout with maybe 12 to 15%, if I heard the numbers that you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, what does that say? Is it that people are just happy with the way that the city's progressing? The city's moving
Right.
forward pretty well.
Yeah, but happy is a strong word, right? I think
Yeah.
it's more like they're not angry. I think that's probably the right way to say
Right.
it. I think people are pretty copacetic with it at the end of the day. But I think this is always the issue with a preliminary election. People, it's more apathy. I think it
is.
because you could have the incumbent pick up, like we were saying earlier, is Johnny Dakota in the District 8 going to get 60%. If he doesn't get 60%, should he be mad? And I think no.
Right.
Because the number turnout, if he just gets 50%, that's a win.
Right.
Right.
You know,
Because
but-
actually, the people who are running, their people, their friends are going to come out
Yeah.
much more so
Right.
than the candidate.
Exactly, Mayor.
I
Yeah.
mean, how many times have we seen a council race where we'll say the last 4 or 5 councilors who have been councilors finish 10th, 11th, maybe
Right.
12th,
Right.
what have you. But then during the actual late race, they bounce
Yeah.
back to 6, 7.
And some people get surprised with that too. They're like, "Oh my God, I was going to throw him a vote, but he's out of the money. I'll throw him a vote. I'll make sure I
Right.
vote for him because I want I want them
Well,
in there."
how many times have we had, I'm sorry, I didn't vote during the primary. I knew you didn't have any trouble. You wouldn't have
You're
any
like
problem.
50 or 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So
Thanks.
one thing that I noticed tonight at the city council meeting, which kind of surprised me, and I'm looking for Jimmy Leary and Bill's response here. If you have a preliminary and you have a council meeting, do you attend the council meeting or do you stay at the polls until they close?
If you're a city council,
If you're a sitting councilor, you're running for reelection in these type of races, do you stay at the polls?
no, you go to your meeting.
Go to the meeting.
That's what you're there for. Yeah.
We go to the meeting.
Yeah.
Not one of the 3
Right.
councilors who are running were at the meeting tonight.
Yes.
Johnny-
I would
Yeah.
go to the
Johnny
meeting.
Dakota, Corey Belanger, or Paul
I expect
which
that.
kind of surprised me.
I'm not surprised by that because where I was. I remember years ago when we were running for re-election when I worked for Crane when he was treasurer. Right. I called the boss. I said, he goes, "Do you need any more people?" I goes, "Yeah, we can always use." I was running Middlesex County for him. Right. And I went to the office quick to see him, and he walked around the whole state, this treasury. He goes, "Everybody out to the polls because if we lose today, you have no job tomorrow." So we shut the treasury down.
but
So
yeah.
that's
That
how.
was the old days.
But that's reality.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, that's the reality of it,
But to answer
So
your question-
I would be at the polls if I was a counselor.
When you're out there, you're a counselor, it's dark now. So why are you going to stand in the dark to hold a sign? Hold it with a flashlight. So we'd go to the meetings and we'll say, end the meeting shortly.
Yeah.
And be ready for
But
the.
did you see they haven't met in a month, pretty close to a month. So
Right.
17,
Yeah, well,
it's
we
a
went
big-
to the meeting.
It's a big agenda.
We did.
I'm sorry, guys.
Screen committee the same thing.
It's a big. All right.
Oh, is it done?
Asa has some numbers for us. Now, I think
Yeah.
I hit this number here, Asa. I think I hit 5, right? There you go. How's that? How-
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Quick learn. Yeah, the camera adds 5 pounds.
These are the 2 big ones. There's
Whoa,
4
wait,
different.
hold on.
2 at the daily.
Well, let him get that
2
pen
at the
up.
charter school.
Okay.
8-4. The winner is a tie. Johnny Dakota with 80 votes. Candido, 80 votes. Maldonado, 55.
Sorry, guys.
55? Okay.
So that is 8-4. Dakota 80, Candido 80, Maldonado 55. 8-3 at the daily. The big one.
This is the one.
Your winner, Johnny Dakota, 125. Second place, Candido, 103. Third, Maldonado, 93. Much closer and very interesting. Gerry,
Wow.
if you hit one of those buttons, show the people.
Which button do you want me to hit?
Teddy, which button? Try 5. I usually take
No,
one.
you're on 5.
Try 6.
Yeah. How's that? Number 6. Number 6.
Yeah. That's your running total. The one.
Oh, look at that.
So what do they?
So all that's missing is the 2 charter schools, and then that race is done.
So Johnny Dakota, 205. Candido, 183. Maldonado, 148.
Oh,
I got to tell you, taking a look at those numbers, I am beyond surprised. Candido got his people out. Wow, did he get his people out?
well, he was the one they were saying, Gerry. Who was saying? I think Asa was saying it, that he actually went to people's homes and knocked on doors during the day as opposed to sitting
Right.
with the sign. So we were like talking about Jackie Doherty when she first ran. Brian Martin was telling her, stop holding the sign. Go out there and meet people and get their vote. That's a different election because it's at large, but the same premise. Like you're going there,
Right.
and you're talking to people, and like, hey, you're a friend of mine. Don't stay home today. It's a nice day. You want to be in the backyard, or you just came from work, you're tired. let's get up and get to the polls and vote. So that
Right.
if that holds with the charter school, the votes, which it looks like it will, then ultimately he could be facing off against John Dakota in
Right.
the general election,
Which
which I
is-
think a lot of people will be surprised with.
Yeah, oh, I think a lot of people would be
Yeah.
very surprised with.
But
Yeah.
just to say what he's been talking about, what Tim's talked about, I advise anybody I talk to, I advise them, go out and secure a vote. Even every day, if you could do 2 or 3 at a time, because in this race here, it's not going to be large numbers. I didn't think there'd be large numbers in this race. And the thing is, how much effort does it take to pick up 200 votes?
Right.
So there's actually
about it.
22 votes, if my quick math
Yeah.
is correct here, separating Candido and Dakota, and then Maldonado's at 148, which I got to tell you is very surprising. Now, as you can see, they're putting up numbers for the Ward 7 race that seem to be coming in precincts from the senior center, precincts 1, 2, and 3. They're working on those numbers, and again, low turnout. But
But look at the numbers, though.
but look at Liang, Sidney Liang, 123, Paul Retayem, 87, and
You said that.
Cervantes, 55.
Yep. I think you made a point on that. I think that was.
And that's all.
was,
That's
yeah.
all 4. That's the whole.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Precincts 1, 2, 3, and 4. So Paul Retayem and Sidney Liang have both.
We'll be
both
facing each
agreed
other in November.
to November.
Okay.
Now, I don't
Paul
think.
Rathian has a race.
Yeah.
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 Paul Retayem definitely has a race there, which
Okay.
I don't think surprises
Anybody.
anybody.
No.
Sydney's a popular.
Sydney's
He's been
a-
there a while. He's been active.
Yeah, he really.
works hard.
Yeah.
I was thinking about him in Dragon.
And
No,
he
no.
he just
No, really, Bill,
he
you
just
know?
got appointed to the board of Middlesex Community College.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just announced that, and so does his
Sydney's been active for a
campaign. He's been
long,
active.
long
He's
time.
been
Yeah.
in the city.
Yeah.
So Paul Retayem is going to have a very challenging race right there.
Oh, you're a pro.
Hey, I've done this once or twice, and you guys are really
Are
doing
you
great
writing them?
with the
You're not
numbers.
writing them on the board, Asa.
We got him.
He doesn't have- doesn't
I know
have to.
there, but I thought.
Doesn't have to. I can
Yeah, okay.
the
It's
numbers there.
2025.
Yeah, it's just hard to see him.
See that?
We
It's
just-
hard to see from here.
We can't see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all
I
like
can borrow the glasses.
Yeah. Even with the glasses, Jerry, I can't see it.
Yeah. So the
What do you got,
I
Asa?
just realized I don't know if they can hear me. This is from the Acre.
Uh-oh.
717374.
I think we just did it.
Did you guys just
yeah,
get the
we
numbers?
just
Oh, you got them all?
yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, just as you were
Johnny
putting them up,
come lately.
So-
just as you were putting them
All
up.
that's left is Lowell High.
Oh, that's true.
For that one.
I think two.
Yeah,
Right.
And so Bendis has
But that
to make
wasn't
up,
heavily hit.
I think, what is it?
32 votes.
32 votes for the tie.
Yeah,
So,
I don't
There
see
was-
that happening.
yeah, there might be
I think there were 33 or 35 people who
Total votes?
voted over there.
There was 61 votes at 6:30. when I
Oh,
was
okay.
there.
So it doubled
But-
up with
So
yeah.
double that.
Not
Yeah,
impossible, but you're seeing
yeah, that's tough.
that's going to
not
hold
easy.
and,
That-
big day for Liang.
Yeah, well, and again, not unexpected. Not really unexpected.
No, but that's, I mean, it's such small votes, but that's a bit of a blowout almost. Percentage-wise.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we were talking about that kid.
Yeah, no, Liang had
Yeah.
real juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back with more.
No.
all right. Thank you, Asa. Those
And
guys.
as usual, there's nothing from Belvedere. Why does that always last? For the love of God, you
Yeah.
know, like what's with that?
Well, because they're the last ones to post
Thousands
the,
of
That's not why they
post
have
the stuff.
thousands of votes. Thousands of votes.
There are.
Maybe
So
1200,
1,500,
1,500.
1,200,
comparison,
1,500.
I mean,
Well, that's right.
Like hustle up.
In comparison. So far, really, the biggest surprise right now is Candido.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
he got in the race late. He had no money to speak of. He was running
Right.
this on like 300 and I
Right.
think his campaign account last time I looked had under $400 in it.
Yeah.
And he's running a grassroots
Well-
effort. And boy, he got he got his people out.
Well,
he
you-
was aiming.
Right.
His message to me was going to the 40 and under crowd, and the very liberal, Democratic liberals, and they came out in support. They really did. Maldonado, raised 10,000, put 20,000 of his own money into it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, must be nice.
Shit, why?
Did he
He
spend
put
that?
how much money into it?
20.
His own?
20 grand of his own money.
These districts are so small, you can do it with no money. I mean, that's the whole point.
How much did he spend in that? Did they say?
I didn't look at the
Yeah.
how much he
like,
spent.
you know,
I looked at how much
drops.
was taken.
Print stuff and
Dick
drop
Howe
it.
in his weekly column.
I saw that, yeah.
He had the breakdown of how much everyone started with, how much they raised, how much they spent.
Okay.
You know, everyone hears a ding, and we all look at our phones to see which one of us
Right.
is getting the message. So, but you know, Candido. I mean, have you?
That's
You know, are we going to see row houses on Middlesex Street across from?
Well, I think,
Oh, boy.
I think now, possibly. Jeez. I think, well, now the general election comes, right? So
Right.
if he's fortunate to get, pulled out, right, he's going to have to really face these issues with Johnny Dakota.
yeah.
Well,
This is my-
the issue is, like I said, during the primary, these people have a chance to have their friends out and the supporters, and they look good. And now when the race comes, everybody digs in. It's going to be an interesting.
You think after all these years, my wife would be tired of listening to me, on the radio, let alone now. And I texted her right before I came in. I said, "You can't get it streaming. We're only on YouTube." She just texted me, "How do I get you on YouTube?" Sorry, honey, I'm doing this right now. I can't stop to tell you, but
Stop and tell people. How do we get it?
What do you got, Asa?
what, the man with the numbers is here again.
Well, I don't know. Have you already done them?
No, we
All
didn't.
right. So this is Lowell High. So this is going to wrap up this race.
Ward 7, right?
7-2.
So, okay.
The winner of this precinct was Cervantes, 29.
Whoa.
But we said going into it, he needed to win by 32 just to
Right.
tie.
Oh, man, he came really close.
Second
Got
place, Liang, 25.
No, he pulled.
Third place, Paul Rathayem, 18.
hit. Whoa.
So this race is unofficially over.
Okay.
Liang's going to win it. Paul Rathayem, the incumbent, is going to move on.
So what's the
But
totals?
nothing is official until City Hall says it is, right?
Right, yeah.
Right now, you got
So what's our totals?
Sidney Liang at 148
148, that's the total?
total.
Okay.
Paul Rathayem at 105, and then Cervantes at 84.
Wow.
Decent showing by him. I mean, look how
Yeah.
close he is to Paul
Actually,
Rathayem.
that is
Yeah,
that is really good.
21 votes separating him and Paul Rathayem.
I'm
Wow.
heading back there with Teddy, but the trend right now is not good for incumbents, which means we're waiting on Belvedere.
That's
Wow.
It's
going to
going to be
be
interesting for Corey Belanger.
that's going to
No,
be
that's
that is going to be
that's
interesting.
typical races like this.
Yeah, but I don't think many of us saw that coming.
We knew that race was going to be
No.
like that. The biggest surprise is the Highland race.
That's the
Candido.
biggest surprise,
That's the biggest surprise.
We were talking about that earlier. We're talking about the way that this individual, Asa was talking about that this individual went to houses, went to people, and actually asked people to vote instead of sitting in front of the schools asking for, waving at people.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the final numbers are going to come in, but it looks like that's going to be the biggest surprise of the night before we get to the Belvedere district.
All right. So speaking of let's take a look at those numbers. We're just missing the charter school for the Highlands
For the Highlands, right?
for the Ward 8. But right now, Candido has about, some quick math here, a 25 vote lead over Maldonado. So can the school change that?
What were the total vote counts for the school? Do we know that yet? I think we had that earlier.
I don't have that.
Okay.
It's
Close.
Yeah,
Very close.
that one's close. Johnny is 205,
Yeah.
which is roughly the 25, 22-point lead over Candido. But Maldonado, 148. That's 25. Less.
close.
That's close. That's going to be so. The school could make a difference in that one if Francisco has a strong showing there. I mean, he's been very confident.
Is he from that area? No, he lives up on the hill, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think he's from the Upper Highlands.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's worked hard too, and that's kind of the
Yeah.
surprising part. You're talking about vote count, and really, at the end of the day, the vote counts are miserable in these preliminaries. So
Right.
for all folks who put money into it and really
I know.
put the effort in, that's even if he pulls it off, it's going to be a bit frustrating because you really worked and you don't see the vote count to it. That's close, 25 votes, but the charter school, I mean, I don't know what the counts were. I think they were like 100 and something. So it's
They're always lower. Than up daily.
not,
Yeah.
not that big, but we'll see. It's still
Right.
close enough to win and pull it out.
Numbers are low. Numbers for early voting were low,
But you know what the thing
Those
is,
were
I
pathetic,
found
actually.
in this
Early
race,
voting was
though,
really bad.
and so was
Yeah.
the request for mail-in.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so my question is, and I'm gonna direct you, Greg, can a city or a town opt out
Yes.
of early voting and
Oh,
mail-in voting?
Yep, you can. You have there's certain, if I remember correctly, there's certain sizes like Lowell can't. You have certain populations. I
So
think
that's what I'm saying.
They
Lowell-
can't. Yeah, I don't think Lowell can. I don't think Draker can. I think it's like down low, like 20,000 people or something like that. It's very small. You have to have a small population.
But so, I mean, how much do you spend
well, the thing,
per
yeah,
vote? Is
Well,
how much is it costing the,
yeah,
you know,
it costs a lot.
right?
Plus, yeah.
The man with the numbers is back with us again.
All right, people on YouTube said they could hear me. So,
Oh,
Good. What do you got, Doctor?
first Riley numbers.
First Riley, okay.
31. Your winner is Belinda Duran, 207. Second place, Finn, 149. Third place, Belanger, 94. Fourth place, Gendron, 90. We should be getting the other two Belvedere numbers.
And we have precinct 2.
You got it?
Look at-
Do you punch it in?
Teddy just
And
put
Riley?
that in.
Riley, yeah.
Yeah, precinct 2.
Good, Jerry.
I gotta put my glasses on.
Oh,
for
there you
this.
go, buddy.
Okay.
Jerry,
So-
just if I can interrupt, just to be clear that I'm putting them in order. I can't see which specific precinct it is, but I'm putting the 3 Riley School ones in now. So
Oh, okay.
I'm just putting them in the
I'll
order.
give you
they came,
specifics in a
but-
second.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So, but the numbers that he just put out.
Oh, yeah.
Belanger, 183. Duran, 173. Finn, 169. Gendron, 143. So with those two precincts in,
Corey moved back up.
right now it is Duran at 380, Finn at 218, Belanger at 277, and Gendron at 233. So right now, Belinda's running away with it, 380, and then Danny Finn is at 318.
So the race right now is really between Finn, Corey, and then Gendron at this point.
Which again, now talk about surprises. Maybe when we get the other numbers, we'll see a bump for Erin.
Pine School?
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought Erin. I said a couple of weeks ago, I thought this was going to be Erin and Duran. But I will say, over the last 2 to 3 weeks, and Bill, you've been one of the people who said you've heard the same thing. Danny Finn has come on very strong.
But the thing in this race in Belvedere, the people who like to make bets or figure it out, Jim, in the first week, this is who's going to win. Second week, change,
Change,
this is who's going to win.
Right.
Third week, this is who's going to win.
Right.
I mean, I've never seen so much changing.
Right.
I mean, it all depended on who put in the better week that week.
Yeah.
They all work.
And it's always the last weekend that people look at too, right?
Yeah.
Right, Bill?
Yeah.
And you got to finish.
Yeah. There's always something you feel to see, right? I agree with what you're saying. I mean, at the beginning, all I was hearing was the 2 young ladies' names everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just like Erin and Belinda, everywhere.
And then after watching the debates, I thought that was the best I've seen
Corey
Belanger.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he
Yep.
was, so confident
Yep.
and very.
No, you're right. I thought
very
so too.
direct.
Yeah.
So he's at 277 right now. So
Yeah,
literally,
he's within striking distance.
well, he's second. And you got 40.
No,
votes.
he's third.
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 the-
Danny Finn is 318.
Oh, 318,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's close.
He's got
yeah.
to pick up 50 votes.
He's got to pick up
Yeah.
50 votes in whatever we're missing. We don't know.
Yeah.
Teddy's going to straighten that out in the
Pine
other room.
School
But
didn't have
in
many,
3-3.
right?
numbers are coming in.
No, if this is 3-2, if 3-3 hasn't come in, 3-3,
That's the big one.
that's the big one.
Yeah.
And that's actually Belinda's Hill.
Yeah. Yeah. Surprising, again, the one that surprises me is Erin. I thought it would be, and maybe she'll pick up more and it'll be closer. Here's the question, Bill. At what would you as a candidate, if you lost by less than 30 votes, would you ask for a recount?
The thing is, in so few votes cast, it's a hard ask.
Right.
Yeah.
If it
No.
was by two, if I lost by 2 votes, I'd ask.
Yeah, but it's 30.
Yeah.
30 votes.
Yes, sir.
So the total you have now is all of the Riley. All that district is waiting for is
Oh,
the Pine,
so you're
which
the
is
Pine.
the smallest.
Okay.
Oh, wow. All right.
So.
All right. So we got,
Oh, wow.
yep. All right. So,
Okay.
so here we go. Waiting. So with the Riley School totals, grand totals, as of right now,
Yep.
you have Belinda Duran at 412. Danny Finn at 345. Corey Belanger at 308. And Erin Gendron at 259. And we're only missing the Pine School, which is the smallest.
That's
What was Finn? Finn was what?
345. Danny Finn.
that's gonna be hard for Corey to catch up. I
I
think.
had 130 votes
Okay.
Oh yeah,
at
that's
5:30 today, just to give you an idea.
So if they had 130 votes at 5:30, so maybe they figured 150 votes.
it's gonna be hard for Corey to.
It's going to be hard for Corey
Yeah.
at 3.
Three.
Yeah,
Still in striking distance, but yeah, that's a
yeah. But Belinda,
Almost 40. It's almost
Belinda,
40.
412.
Right, Bill. Yeah.
yeah. Belinda was handily.
Yeah, handily,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean that's the biggest margin citywide right now, percentage wise.
yeah.
There's always one or two, right? They just stick right out, you know.
But if you've been watching, she's been one of the people who you felt all along that
Right.
she was going to be one of the top 2.
Right.
Now, that
Yeah.
second person, as Bill has said, has changed. One week you'll hear, oh, Corey's doing this.
Right.
One week you'll hear, oh, Gendron's got her team. Another week you'll hear that Danny has made such great strides.
Right.
So, and it really comes down to who gets the vote out.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what's funny? Did you see Finn yesterday during the rain? Finn was by Market Basket on Clark Road under an umbrella.
Yeah.
They,
There you go.
waving to everybody, you know,
Yep.
going into Market Basket.
There you go.
And
That helps.
you know, and
People
I got-
appreciate that.
I got what's interesting about that, I got 2 or 3 calls on it
Right.
saying, "Did you see him?"
Yeah.
So when people take
Two or
notice of something,
yeah, 2 or 3 is good for like 35 or 40, right?
Our
Right.
pal Marty
people know.
Laurie just texted and said, it's been Finn the last week or so he has been gaining. And
There you go.
apparently he has been gaining.
Right.
I mean, he did come across, like I said, I thought in the debates he was much better than he was in 2017.
Yeah.
I credit his campaign manager. She is doing an excellent job.
Who's the campaign?
His daughter.
Oh.
She's like 12, 13
Oh
years
yes,
old.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
She's always with him.
Yeah, I met her. I told.
Yeah.
I said I knew your grandfather. Yeah.
you know,
Right.
no.
You know, I think
That's great.
I think
To
of
me,
Mickey,
that's
I think
accurate.
of Mickey a lot because I've been walking to work a couple of days a week.
Right.
And people who know Mickey Finn, Mickey worked at Courier, right next when Courier
Yeah,
was next to the
yeah.
post office.
Right.
And Mickey walked to work
There you go.
every day.
Yep.
Yeah. He walked to work every day.
But how many
Wow.
people said if it wasn't for my granddaughters, I wouldn't have gotten a vote.
Jeez, isn't that something? Yeah, those were the.
Bill, if you hit the point where people are going, what's your name again?
Yeah,
Today it was.
it's crazy.
Go ahead.
It
Tell
was.
us
it
the
wasn't-
story today.
It wasn't a good day. I went to vote. I went to my proper area, 3-3, and they said, "Your name, please." And I said, "Samaras." And they started spelling S-I.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You're out. You're out.
And what,
Yeah.
and what,
No
Right.
kidding, Jim.
and what's
Right.
the first name? I said
Right.
the first name,
Right.
and weren't sure about that.
Right.
Get your ID.
Something,
Show me your.
I think they want to see my ID or something like
Got
that.
something
Yeah.
else?
Yeah.
That's yeah.
How about electric bill?
Somebody will reach out and say, "Oh, he's the farmer." No.
Right.
No. Hey, when you're out,
You're out. You're out.
You're right.
That's right.
We all three know that.
Yeah.
That's right.
We're out.
It's funny.
Yeah.
And we're all behind microphones now.
But you do see what you do have sort of an expectation, right? So somebody will say something.
Yeah, you look
Oh,
familiar.
you look, yeah, at least that I would have been happy with that.
So
Right.
if people are pretty content, let's say that, content, there's nothing to be angry about,
Yeah.
as you point out. What does that mean for the November election?
Well,
You know?
yeah.
Is it? I mean, I think the last time, what do we have? Like 12%.
Yes, I think you read on the nose with that. I think it was 12%. Yeah.
in the general election.
Right.
Now, there's
Yeah.
a couple. There's an interesting. Kim Scott's race is really interesting.
Yeah.
Because Sherry Barboza, the election commissioners voted to allow her to remain
Right.
on the ballot
Right.
after disallowing the same signature allegedly on a school committee ballot that she
Right.
put in. So,
The
When
drama.
I go to the screen, we got another update here.
all right.
Upper
So,
Highlands
yeah.
is officially over. We've gotten the numbers from the charter school. Candido is going to win the night. Going to beat Johnny Dakota by 7 votes. The 2 of them will move on. But that's 2 incumbents that haven't won.
Wow.
And all that's left is the Pine with Corey Belanger in a bit of trouble.
So, Candido, 272, Dakota,
Totals?
65. Yeah, this is totals.
Done.
What was the number for Candido?
Say that again.
272
Total?
72.
total for Candido.
Yeah.
265 for John,
John.
and 207 for Maldonado.
7. Yeah.
207
Wow.
for
Yeah.
For
Francisco.
Yeah.
To go
Yeah.
back to Kim real quick, she takes it to court. The judge is gonna. You can't count PO boxes. It's against the law.
It is against the law.
Yeah,
And-
I don't know what they're doing. If I'm the manager, I know. I mean, I know the election commissioners. I would tell them, look, why are you doing this? Because you know it's against the law. One is as an attorney, you have to be removed. Sorry. The judge will throw it off. She's going to be running on stickers. And that's
She's running on, by the way,
She's running for both
she's
offices,
running
yeah.
for both offices.
Right.
She's running a campaign for
Right.
school committee
right,
on stickers.
right. So I think if Kim goes to
Can't
court,
make that up, and why would you, right?
yeah, if Kim goes to court, a judge will throw it off. Then he'll probably tell the lawyers,
So
"Can you read a law?
that-
Can you read the law? What's it say? Read it to me right now."
That
I
was
was in
my-
I was in court a lot with Galvin, and I saw recounts, lots of recounts. I've seen judges do it to the law. Read that thing. Read it right now. He goes, "Would you go to law school?" You know. I mean, it's embarrassing. You can't, I don't know how they did that. You cannot, I don't care if it's even a person identity, hidden identity thing. They still have to sign the original thing, but we keep it secret on the, but they have to notify the election commission first so we can have it there before they do it. But you cannot put a PO box down and the machine won't take it. Totally 100% against the law.
Listen.
She's going to end up running on stickers against
Well,
Kim.
the question is Kim going to, Teddy and I were talking last
Yeah.
Wednesday. Is Kim going to take this to court?
I think she is.
And Kim came back to us and said, it depends on the cost.
Yeah, I think she already, I think she already got
The
it.
man with the numbers is here again.
Where are we?
Gerry, go to the screen. They are all official now. The Pine is in. So
Okay.
what you see, these are the unofficial results. City Hall will have the official ones later, but that's what it is.
What we have is Belinda Jurian at 553 votes.
Yep,
Danny Finn, 378 votes.
yep.
Corey Belanger, 344 votes. And Erin Gendron, 278.
Wow, there you go.
There you
And
go.
that's so, okay.
So one incumbent eliminated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Corey's been eliminated and
The other two lost, but they came
No.
in second.
Second
Yeah,
place.
both
Yeah.
came in second.
Yeah.
Not a good night for incumbents.
Yeah.
And with a small vote of turnout. But
Yeah.
how much of that, Jimmy, Larry, is, as we said earlier,
I mean, look at
But that's a problem.
I don't.
It's a preliminary,
Right.
so you have chances to move forward with
Yep.
it. It's interesting. So you take a look at and Belinda really won. So Danny needs to get out and point some issues out and work. He's got a good shot to win. Danny's, he's a hard worker, but that's 533 to 378 that's a big deal.
That's a big.
Yeah, that's the only one I really see as a challenge, as it were, that's out there. Johnny Dakota has really just got to knock on doors and get his name out there. But I'm impressed with the Candido.
Very impressive with Candido.
Yeah, it's definitely, he worked hard and he
Grassroots.
hit the people that voted.
And
today.
he did. He went out and congratulations to him, because I made the joke that when we were talking last week, I didn't give this kid a chance.
Yeah.
I said he's left of Elizabeth Warren. He's targeting young people. They don't come out to vote in the preliminary, and boy, did he make me look stupid. which I grant you,
But
it's
the
not that
thing is,
hard.
This was a primary.
Been done before.
A lot of times, a lot of times.
A low number primary,
Right.
and this is what I expected.
Yeah.
I didn't.
But Bill's right, because in preliminaries and primaries, especially preliminaries, sometimes they peak out. And then, yeah, it's Bill's onto it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you remember, we had a case in Lowell where my former co-host finished very high in the preliminary.
Fifth, I think.
I was going to say the fourth or fifth, Casey
Yeah.
Crane finished.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And then in the general election, she fell down to 12th.
Yeah, that's what would, yeah.
So it does. It happens often.
It can happen.
Right.
It happens
Right.
often. So I think really what people will do now, if you're looking, you weren't happy with your results, whoever you are, and you got a shot, you live to fight another day. You hit the doors, you get the issues. You remind, if you're an incumbent, you remind people what I've done, right? How I've worked for you, and just remind folks out there. And if you're the challenger, you got to hit issues. Unfortunately, it's not. The voter turnout is really low. It's going to be a lot higher in the next race. You're going to have the large races for school committee, and all the school committee races are going to be up, right? You're going to have everybody else on the ballot.
But
Right.
nobody
difference.
is running for school committee aside from the at-large seats.
But that brings out numbers,
Yeah,
right?
the
You're gonna have to
large,
you're
yeah.
going to have folks that are going to bring out the numbers.
And that might be the only issue, too, the
But
school
how
committee.
would you like another approach? I think the primary, the voters that had a vested interest came out. And when I say vested interest, it's friends of
Yeah,
candidates or
Right.
what have you, or always got involved
Right.
for whatever reason. But the thing is, during the regular race,
Are you
it's
saying goodnight already?
I want to interrupt.
it's the people who aren't sure who they're going to vote for,
Right.
and they're going to. That's when
Right.
put all that information out. Who
And,
you are.
and elections have changed so much over time. Like you take the 150-foot rule.
Yeah.
I was a kid working in the State House when that first came in, and I watched the hearing. And you had tons of people come in from the public demanding 150-foot rule because they didn't want they didn't want candidates bothering them. But you go back 20 years before that, 15 years before, they say, of course I got to meet President Kennedy and I got to meet, all these people. And
Yeah.
We used to have
it's
the
like
Robinson
now they don't
School.
want to even talk to
We
them,
used to sit-
which
we
is
used
so
to sit on the wall.
Right.
If you were walking,
Right.
you had to walk past all of us to get
Right.
ready.
And that
I've
was
watched
right.
people
Eddie Saber.
fall
Right.
down, trip,
Get to meet Eddie Saber.
boy, to,
Right.
come in
And-
and shake hands.
And that shows you why the turnout's getting lower and lower and lower. People have no interest in this at all. They're it's not. It's just
Yeah.
yeah.
Wake up at 3 in the morning.
Hey, thank you, pal.
Yeah, see,
Thank you.
that's
Great work tonight.
a shocking night.
Great. It was.
Inside
It-
Lowell,
it was.
8:35. Done.
Yeah.
Wow.
8:30.
Good.
Good job for election
guys.
department.
Thank
you.
Yeah, Asa.
Be good, Asa.
Thank you, Asa.
Yeah.
Asa Stutz getting us the numbers with Teddy tonight.
Yeah.
Great job, man.
Yeah. Quick, man.
8:35. We knew the numbers were going to be quick. I said we could be out
Yeah.
here by 9 o'clock and over
Yeah.
at the Athenian having a drink on Teddy.
There you go. I thought that was the deal, wasn't it? Did you say tell me that?
So that was my pay. That was my pay.
Jimmy, you
That
told
was
me.
my pay, man. What the heck? I won.
Yeah.
Well, he asked me to do this and he said, I'll give you, like a gift card to, a nice Greek restaurant.
Right.
Yeah. The Olympia's out of business.
Out of business,
I
right? Yeah,
gave
right.
about 6
Right.
of those cards. It was very nice of them.
Right. God. Crazy.
Paul Rethayem
Yeah.
has a big fight on his hands. I mean, if you
What
look
was the vote count on that?
at the numbers there,
He's got a very big fight.
Paul lost by 43 votes. Sidney Liang 148, Paul Rethayem 105. But Cervantes, give him credit. He was only 21 votes off the mark.
See, to me, that kid Liang is like
Yeah.
Belinda. They both had something going. I saw his signs out first, and hearing people talk was like they were like he was Ted Kennedy.
Everybody
And
knows
same
him.
thing with, no, you know what I'm saying? There was something lit on him. So I have a
Right.
funny feeling there's your new counselor, but
Everybody knows him. He's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
He worked for, I think, Lowell,
yeah.
the health center for a long time.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's been out in the community, so
So-
he's very well known.
Yep.
You can come in and take the big chair back.
No, I don't want it back. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
No, Sydney's been now. He's been in the community. He's popular. He's a good guy. He's very, I wouldn't say overly charismatic, but he's someone you can accessible. He's someone
Right.
who's not shy to say hello and talk to you.
Right.
So I think at the end of the day, that's going to be an interesting race. Mr. Yum's got to work.
Your biggest surprise tonight?
A lot of them. It's figure Candido topping the ticket
Yeah, I thought John was going
was,
to be okay.
was stunning to me there. I thought there might be an outside shot.
Well, look at this. I only get, if I go to 5, I only get your head.
I'll stand up
There we go.
Oh wow, look at that.
So I thought there was an outside shot that Candido might top Maldonado. I wouldn't have bet on it, but he was smart as a challenger for a guy that's running from the left. He sat here and said to me, Dakota and Maldonado are both the establishment as far as I'm concerned. So on a night where it appears the preliminary voters wanted change, he became the change candidate in that district, and it showed. Did I think he would top the ticket? No, but he did. It was close. Not necessarily surprised about the order, about the Belanger not winning Belvedere. I thought he could sneak into second. Surprised that it was Finn who topped him and not Gendron. Erin Gendron, I think she has to be the most disappointed of all tonight, finishing a
She was
distant fourth. in
my
that
biggest
race.
surprise that she
And there were people 6 months ago saying she was going to win that seat.
Yeah.
And I think
Well, like,
Samaras could attest to that. But and then not surprised that Sidney Lang beat Paul Yem. I figured those two would be
Yeah.
neck and neck. I didn't think that Paul Yem would be closer to third place than Jose Cervantes.
Yeah,
He would be first place than Sidney
22
Lang.
votes, I think, 25 votes.
The one thing to watch in that race, Lang and Cervantes do not like each other. Their camps do not like each other.
Oh, yeah.
Does Jose Cervantes
Help Paul.
help Paul
Yeah.
in the general
Yeah.
election? Do his vote
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a
translate to
little
Paul?
back and forth
Yeah.
on social media, shots at each other.
It's
Yeah.
a pretty big wide wide
Candido,
You can go back to 3 now.
What's-
I got enough face up here.
would Candido's victory get some candidate like McDonough, who's running against Wayne Jeunesse, excited because he's very
Oh, yeah.
similar. He's very similar.
Yeah.
He's a young guy. He's very much more progressive. I mean, Wayne's progressive too.
right.
He is.
Well, yeah, but
He really is.
but this kid I think is a little more. We can have nice things.
Yeah.
That's his campaign slogan. We can have nice things. So
Sometimes it's simple,
but
yeah.
Will that give him some encouragement?
Yeah.
That give him some
I think
encouragement?
Wayne Jeunesse has worked the
he's
city
hard
pretty well, and especially for small things, alleyways and what have you. I mean, things that are concerned with the condo owners. Yeah, he's been steady on that,
One of the things
and
is
and he's liberal.
if you walk around downtown Lowell, you'll see a lot more McDonough signs.
Right.
But downtown Lowell, as we found out in the school committee race a couple of years ago,
Doesn't
they don't come out to vote.
not the apartment building.
Yeah, look, you get the Pawtuckettville, the back Central Street, and
Right.
that's where Wayne has done
Right.
really well.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think Wayne's downtown too, so we can have definitely inroad to that. So yeah, and look at the end of the day, this is nice. Belinda's the only one that I saw that came out that's strong, really strong. Everybody else, it's
Right.
like I think it's a clean
Well,
slate.
40
You got all these other
yeah.
races, right? At the end of the day,
Yeah.
You got the dynamic you just told me about in the acre, which is
Yeah.
that changes the whole thing. I thought. Paul was in big trouble, but that might make it more interesting for him. So you never know. The idea is you got to work now. You got to
know,
get
it's
the door.
really-
You got to get the issues, and you got to work.
I mean,
Speaking of the
John
acre.
only lost by 7, but Paul lost by 43.
But the acre, actually, that district, and Teddy pointed this out the last time I was on with him, that has a higher Hispanic community
See?
than it does a Cambodian community.
Yep.
So if Cervantes can get his people organized and get some people out there,
Yeah.
he could help Paul.
It's hard to do that, though.
Yeah.
We know that.
You're talking. He might not like an individual,
Right.
You're talking,
But we
he
know
might
that.
not care one way or the other.
Yeah.
You might be a buddy of his, so it's just
Yeah.
different. But it's interesting. It's good. It's good talk for sure.
Oh, yeah.
End of the day, now you got to get out, knock on the doors. More voters are going to be there. More folks will pay attention. And you know what? Candidates who didn't do so well might have their friends go, "Oh man, I didn't go there because my kid was at football or soccer
Right.
or
But,
whatever."
I would take
Changes
early
it all.
voting and organize all those people and drive them to early voting early. All your people get 400 or 500 votes up ahead of time. But
I mean,
that's just me.
Actually, I think some people who are sort of paying half attention to this are going to be shocked tomorrow morning. So the thing is, you're going to see
Yeah.
different groups really winding up.
Now,
And it's-
in elections like this,
Yep.
our pal Marty Leary
Yep.
always speculates that, this could be in terms of replacing a manager, you do it, over a period of 2
Yeah.
election cycles.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, are any of these people going in as people who could potentially be anti-Golden?
The thing is, I didn't see that. I didn't see the candidates doing that.
I didn't either,
That's
but
unusual.
But now's the time where like, you got a good point. No one's probably really focused on that. Now
Right.
you get to the questions, well, where do you stand on that?
right.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's going to be an issue, but if you come out and people are in favor of Tommy, which I think most people are, and you're like, well, I'm not.
Right.
Now you've taken a stand. Now, like, it's not cut or dry. It's not ambiguous anymore.
That's why I do. If they were debating, I would ask them the question
Oh, yeah.
straightforward,
Yeah.
straight out. Yeah. No, just because they'd love to get away with it because I would think the more progressives get elected, the worse it would be for Tom. Worse would be for the city. Period. But that's just me.
All right, 8:48.
Sorry, buddy. I love you though. You're a good guy.
Wrapping this up at
You're
8:48.
modern.
guys ready
You're
to call it a
modern.
night?
You're normal. You're not like
Yeah, we're ready to call it night because
Yeah.
we get out of here by 9.
everybody.
We're all going over to the Athenian corner. Teddy's buying.
Good to see you, Jerry.
I'll steal the microphone for you for 1 second. I want to say thank you, Jerry, for coming on in. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. We'll do this again November 4th.
Yeah.
Mr. Pappas, thank you.
Yeah, it was fun.
We'll see you
Yeah.
on the
Good
4th.
to see a
Mr.
bunch of great
Leary,
guys.
Absolutely.
We'll see you on the 4th as well. Mr. Samaras, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow morning. We're going to have more post-election analysis, and we're also going to have a live Zoom call with Mark Keeley, one of the World Economic Forum representatives, front city representatives.
Interesting.
He'll be joining us to talk about what they're looking for from Lowell. We know what Lowell is looking for,
Right.
what they're looking
Right.
for.
Right.
We'll get his thoughts on the election results as well. But
Right.
thank you to all of you. Thanks to all of you for watching at home. We appreciate it. Sorry for the scrambled start, some technical issues. We got the show. We got the results. The candidates were reaching out to us. I think it's going to be an awful lot of fun on November 4th. Keep it here to Inside Lowell. Online, InsideLowell.com. Watch the Daily Pulse daily. It drops at noon. We've got a live Daily Pulse if I can figure out the disaster from tonight first.
Good hire.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Have yourself a wonderful night. We'll see you tomorrow morning here on
There you
Inside
go.
Lowell.